better English pronunciation J. O'Connor, lend me your ears. If speech depends on hearing and books don't talk, what are you to do? Fortunately, there is a lot of English spoken about the world. On films, on the radio, on tapes, on gramophone records. Most people can get the opportunity of listening to English in some way, and this is what you must do. You must hear English, but just hearing it is not enough. You must listen to it, and you must listen to it not for the meaning but for the sound of it. Obviously, when you are listening to a radio program, you will be trying to understand it, trying to get the meaning from it. But you must try also for at least a short part of the time to forget about what the words mean and to listen to them simply as sounds. Take one of the English sounds at a time. It might be the English T, and listen for it each time it comes. Concentrate on catching it, on picking it out, on hearing what it sounds like. Don't just be satisfied to hear it vaguely, as if it were a sound of your own language. Try and pick out the Englishness of it. What makes it different from the nearest sound in your language? And when you think you have got it, then say it in some of the words that you have heard and say it aloud. It is no use practicing silently. All of us are much better at pronouncing if we do it silently, inside ourselves. But you can't talk English inside yourself. It has to come out, so practice aloud, even if it puzzles your family or your friends. Later in the book you will find pronunciation exercises to be done. These too must bed. Films or radio programs have the disadvantage that you can't stop them and ask for something to be repeated. Gramophone records and tapes do not have this disadvantage. With them, you can repeat any part of the text as often as you need, and you must do the same. It is much better for your ear if you listen to the same passage 6 times than if you listen to 6 different passages. But be careful, listen closely each time. Don't relax after 2 or 3 hearings. Try to keep your ears as closely concentrated on the sound of the passage at the 6th hearing as at the first. In this way, you will build up a store of sound memory which will form a firm base for your performance. Now, performance. When you practice aloud, of course, you must listen carefully and accurately. If you have listened properly in the first place, you will know what the English words and sentences sound like, and you must compare as closely as you can the sounds that come out of your mouth with the sounds that you are holding in your head, in your sound memory. Don't be satisfied too easily. Try to match your sounds exactly with the sounds that you have listened to. Some of you may be able to make use of a tape recorder. If you can, you will be able to hear what you sound like to other people. If you can, record on the tape recorder a sentence or a longer passage with which you are familiar through hearing it said by an English speaker. Then listen to it closely and carefully and see where your performance does not match the original. Mark the places where you are dissatisfied and practice these bits until you think you have them right. Then record the passage, listen critically again, and repeat the sequence. One word of warning a tape recorder will not do the job for you. It is a useful instrument, but it is not a magic wand which will make your English perfect without any effort from you. It is useful only because it enables you to listen to yourself from the outside, which makes it easier for you to hear what is wrong. But it is you who have to put it right, and the machine cannot do this for you. In the end, it is absolutely essential for you to be able to match what you say with your sound memory of English. So although a tape recorder is helpful, this does not mean that if you haven't got one, your English will not improve. And, just as important, it does not mean that if you have a tape recorder, your English will necessarily be better. Careful listening is the most important thing, and careful matching of performance with listening will bring you nearer to the ideal of a perfect English pronunciation. And make no mistake, your aim must be to acquire a perfect English pronunciation. You will almost certainly not succeed in this aim because it requires, as I have said, a very rare gift. But unless this is your aim, you will not make all the progress of which you are capable. Keep working towards perfection until you are quite sure that it is neither necessary nor profitable for you to continue. Then you will have done yourself justice.